Yeah, I'm wearing sunglasses indoors, people. Indoors! And I've got a short stack of books, and you might hear street noise. It's a hot mess of a week, because it is what it is. I scratched my cornea the other day in my sleep. Don't ask. Long story. Allergies, eye stuff. It's not pleasant. So the bright ring light here that you don't see behind, look, you can see the reflection. See the ring light makes my eyes hurty. So I'm wearing sunglasses. Deal with it. And the window's open behind me because there was a fire in my apartment building earlier. Everyone's fine. It was a kitchen fire in one of the other units, but the entire building just reeks of smoke right now, so I'm trying to air out my unit. Fun times. Anyways, I'm Taylor. Did I say that? I might have. I don't know. Whatever. I might say it like 4 times today. I'm a hot fucking mess. I'm Taylor. It's November. It's not November. It's April. April 19th. Is it 420 yet? Not quite. It's getting there. And Cranky Comic Book Review Show. Light stack of books this week. Kind of thankfully. My wallet could use a break. My brain could use a break. My everything could use a break. And as usual, if you've been here before, and even if you haven't, I go worst to best. Not an awful week for reads, but there just wasn't a lot to read. So here we go. We're going worst first. Warlock Rebirth #1. There's nothing especially wrong with this. It's Ron Mars and Ron Lim, and it's a throwback kind of 80s, 90s book with like Jen Vel and all these old 90s Marvel, 80s, 90s Marvel characters. There's not much to this. You get Pip the Troll, you get something, you get a revelation that's supposed to be very shocking at the end, but I thought they already kind of did this in a book way back when. And yeah, so it's Warlock Rebirth. Warlock is Marvel's golden Jesus. He dies and comes back like 4,000 times. So this book is probably not going to do anything. It's a harmless thing. It's a fun enough throwback. Ron Lim's art is like pretty old school, and the storytelling is pretty old school. So if you're into that, it's not bad. I'm not going to keep up with it. Maybe I'll read it in trade or digitally down the line. But it was just such a light week that I grabbed onto it. I was like, well, let's see. Yeah, it's decent. All right, next. We have Nightwing, number 10, whatever the hell this is. 103. I can't even see this in my sunglasses. 103. Tom Taylor and a whole bunch of other people on the art. It's fine. It's a big boy issue for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's like Legacy 104. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But it's a thick issue. There's a backup story that's you kind of whatever. I'm not a fan of all these DC little backup stories. Just tell me one main story and put the other story into a different issue. Just do it, people. Yeah, it's a $5 book. It's okay. It's not my favorite issue of Nightwing. It's I like Tom Taylor's Nightwing, and I like what he's been doing on it. This newest stuff in the past couple of issues has been decent, but not amazing, and that's where this kind of falls. It's decent, but not amazing. It's taking Nightwing and turning him into like the leader of a team, which I get. He's been the leader of. I mean, wasn't he the leader of Titans like always? And so like now he's stepping into the leadership role, and he's got questions and stuff and things, and then there's a plot with a kid and fighty. It's fine. It's really fine. It's an enjoyable read. If you've been reading Nightwing, you'll probably like it. I do miss Bruno Redondo on the art quite a bit. The other artists are not bad, but Bruno was really supposed to something special on this book, and I don't know if he's coming back. I kind of doubt it from the sounds of it, from what it seems like. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I'll keep reading it. I like Tom Taylor. I like this. I like his not Superboy. I'm not reading that one. I don't care. The son of Kal-El, what's his name? Jor-El Jonathan Kent. That's the one. So, if you like Tom Taylor, you're probably going to like this. It seems like he's stepping up and doing more at DC and a monthly thing lately, and that's fine. So, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, I feel really weird with these sunglasses on. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to tell how bright the screen is, too, and like, if I should adjust, doesn't matter. You'll live, or I'll live, or I'll live. Next, we have Mighty Barbarians #1. This is Mike Morici with art by who? Cafario? Michael Morici, Giuseppe Cafaro, and colors by Barbara Nocenzo. Okay, Michael Morici is the writer of Barbaric. So don't confuse the Mighty Barbarians with Barbaric. Barbaric's got the barbarian with a talking axe, and this is totally different. Not really. It's different, but you can definitely tell it's in the same kind of vein. It's a world-ending crises on infinite worlds of barbarians, and Morgan Le Fay is going from universe to universe to gather barbarians and gods and tricksters and stuff to help it, and that's what this is. It's a setup issue. It's a fun enough setup. I don't love the art. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's great. I think it's fine. I do think it has some pacing issues and some like just random storytelling stuff, like these pullouts and stuff. While I get why artists do it and stuff, it just doesn't really add to the story. It gets a little dialogue heavy in times as well, and I'm not sure if that's. I mean, not. I'm not. I am nitpicking here. I mean, I'm talking like a couple panels like this where there's just a lot of like exposition uppy. But I mean, this is a Blaze, and I think they've used every either copyright-free barbarian they can get or fixed folks they have the right to in this. So without spoiling a whole lot, like if you're a fan of Thongor, you might not like this one. But there's other barbarians in here. So yeah, good setup. This one I might, if I can remember, I'll keep up with it. It's kind of on the fence. I like Barbaric better. I think Barbaric's a more fun premise. But this is not bad, and it has the potential just kind of dragged down by the art a bit. So, all right, next. This is like me stepping in at the end of a movie without having watched end of Avengers Endgame without having watched any of the rest of it. Avengers Assemble Omega. This is Jason Aaron's last hurrah on Avengers, and he's been doing this since 2017. I found that out from the end notes of this book. I read some of what he was doing. I read some of Avengers Forever, and that does tie into this. Avengers Forever is like every issue is like, oh, we're getting a new multiversal Avenger. And then the next one, a new multiversal Avenger. And the next one, a new multiversal Avenger. And it's just gotten kind of old and repetitive, so I dumped it after a bit. 8 billion first appearances. Everyone was specking on it for a hot minute. It's not going to go anywhere. This issue kind of probably proves all that. Maybe down the line, eventually, somebody will do something with some of them. But this is the wrapping up of Jason Aaron's thing. And I have not, like I said, I have not read all of the Avengers arc. I've heard it's fun, and I might go back if I can find it digitally. I'm not signing up for Marvel's shit because I hate their digital platform. It's not well done. But it's a whole lot of multiversal Avengers and variants versus big bad evil people. And every other page is like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wish I would have known the story behind that. Or, oh, that's kind of cool. And then, and it just kind of goes on like that. So it's a lot of cool little moments that does kind of just reset the board. That's what it's doing. Jed McKay is coming on next. And this is the end of Jason Aaron. So I picked a shitty book to jump onto. But it was such a light week, I only have one other book left to read. And that came out last week. So there wasn't... Oh, wait, no, I do have two other ones. I forgot them, I think. Oh, nope, they're on the stack. I got them earlier. I had to make 2 trips to the LCS because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, it's been a day, people. It's been a day. So I really only have one book left. And it came out last week. So Avengers Assemble Omega, it's fine-ish. It's decent. If you've been reading it, you probably like how it wraps up. It seems like a solid ending to something I wasn't paying attention to before this. I know. Super effective reviews this week, people. This is why I am crawling ever slowly to 1,000, and I keep losing followers every week. Because you get the witty insights of like, I don't know what the hell's going on in this book, but this one was kind of all right. All right, next and last. This one came out last week, Phantom Road number 2. Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta. This is like a weird truckers in purgatory book. I liked the first issue well enough, I think, if I remember it. It was mostly a setup. And this is also more setup. This is the truck stop issue where they learn some things and they learn they have a cargo, and that's kind of it. I love Gabriel Walta's art. I like the kind of atmosphere of this, and I like the potential of it. And so that's why it's at the top. It's not because it's amazing. It's Jeff Lemire, and I do trust Jeff Lemire. But this issue on its own is the best of like a real short stack this week. It's just not phenomenal. It's like... This one, I would honestly say, and I probably should be saying this for a lot of Lemire's like smaller run stuff. I'm guessing this is only going to be like 4 or 5 issues. If it's a full-on ongoing, that might change things. But like, he's getting to the point where he's better read collected. Like I was reading Little Monsters, and I'm like almost done with that one. And that's the first 10 issues of that are slow as shit. And this is like not that painstakingly slow. And Gabriel Walta's art really does help elevate it in my mind because I just dig it. But it's still not a whole lot going on here. It's enough, and I don't want to spoil it. So, like, if you like Lemire and you like his sort of moody, otherworldly kind of stories, you'll probably like this. But you really probably can wait. It's kind of along the lines of Primordial, if you read that by him. Different subject matter entirely and different artists, but like that idea, like you could just probably trade weight it, or even the Maze book. The Maze book probably reads better as a collected thing as well, I think. So it's a flaw I'm finding with Lemire, and I like Lemire's stuff, but just probably read it collected. So that's what I got. I mean, it's not a big week. You can fast forward to the end of this shit and call it a day, huh? All right, that's all I got. Don't be a dick, even if you scratch your cornea and you're crying on the outside and the inside. I'll see you later. Bye. Can't figure out how to turn this shit off. I'm blind. I'm blind, people.